Shalom Israel. Call Halal Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakah Quadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth and who rule well. And a sincere salutations to the house of David. You Akim pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth in all truth and all faith and in all sincereness. Risking and putting your lives on the line daily for the names Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. It's Zechariah coming at you with another lesson. Lord's willing, it be edifying.
From your perspective, how do you understand this ambition of China to have the Chinese path toward modernization and share it with the developing world?
I respect China's achievements, which are tremendous over the last over 40 years since the opening up and policy and reform policy came into action. I think it's a role model for many countries, but I think also we should leave it to each country to make its own decision what system it wants to adopt. And I think we should be very careful in imposing systems. But the Chinese model is certainly a very attractive model for quite a number of countries.
Any further thoughts on this sort of digital dictatorship, electronic concentration camp, as some people call it?
Oh, it's coming. Like I said, that Google executive said we've created God with the AI robots running, and they are machines in the truest sense of the word, unless they figure out a way to somehow inject some kind of human empathy into them, are going to be tyrannists, and they're already tyrannists. And they're going to be taking your money. They're going to be spending your money, by the way. They're going to be ripping your money and taking it and say, this is for taxes. This is for saying the wrong word or whatever. And it's happening in China. It's going to, and you're saying it's happening here. It is true. Everywhere in the world, it's going to happen as we move more and more into a global environment. And with what the technology they have, it's like I say, they're going to be able to say, you can't travel, you can't go here, you can't go there, you're locked in your home, and we're coming to get you if you say the wrong word. And they will with the SWAT teams. And the SWAT teams, by the way, everything's going robotic. Elon Musk even said this recently. He said, I'm trying to warn people, but they won't get it till they see the robots coming down the street at them. And I mean, in some parts of this country already, they're using robot dogs to go to the door. The police aren't going anymore. And they have robots, by the way, that are going to be searching and walking down streets sooner or later. It's coming, folks. They're doing it in airports already in this country. It's coming. And like I say, we have a few years, I'd say maybe a decade to get our act together before it gets so powerful. And like I say, 2029 is the era of singularity. But here's the other thing. With all this increasing machineness and AI, whatever, there's a concern that the economy is going to collapse, and culturally it's going to collapse too. And they're going to have to impose martial law, the so-called dictatorial state. That's why there's that 2030 video that the Pentagon put out 4 or 5 years ago as a training video for police and the military to get ready. And they're basically saying by 2030 they're going to take over and impose martial law, not only in the United States, but other parts of the world. So the American military is already thinking globally in that sense. But the fact that they're training for martial law, the fact that towns of 5,000 people in this country, small towns, have police that have grenade launchers, sniper rifles, armed military gear, MRAPs, which are basically tanks on tires, and all that equipment. And the FBI is training police chiefs at Quantico in different parts of the country. It's getting very, very scary. I mean, it's they're ready, and they're going to again, they're trained, by the way, in the worst case scenario of the police today, and that is when they face you, no matter who you are, you can be the most dangerous person in the world. That's why they're agitated. In some of the cases we've had, people have said, why are the police so agitated when they come to the door? It's because on their phones they have a lot of information about you, because the Department of Homeland Security is already doing threat scores on homes in America. going from green to red. They do the same thing in China. So we're already adopting Chinese policies. And when they're doing threat assessments, it's predictive policing, which studies show that in some cases, in 80% of the cases where people are arrested, thinking they might do a crime or whether they're doing commit a crime, they're found not guilty. So there are going to be people in jails, and we have in this country private prisons, which are making a lot of money off of people being in prisons. People are there to work for Microsoft, Facebook, and all the big companies and making products, Walmart, etc. So the country we're living in today is moving really aggressively toward an artificial intelligence system that is just basically about one thing: control and money. And once we go to digital currency, watch out. They're going to be blocking what you do, what you buy. They're going to know everything about you. And with the smart cities developing in this country like they have in China, with thermal imaging devices, they can basically track wherever you go. The drones today from 2 miles up have facial recognition software. They can watch you, control you, and sooner or later they're going to shoot you. They're going to, or stun you with a taser from a distance. So
this will add to the complexities of human targeting, as a proportionally smaller number of adversaries intermingle with a larger and increasing number of citizens. The scale and density of these domains is daunting. In a city of 10 million, where you hold the support of 99% of the population, the remaining 1% represents a threat of 100,000. It is an environment of convergence, hidden amongst the enormous scale and complexity of the megacity. These are the future breeding grounds, incubators, and launching pads for adversaries and hybrid threats. Linked globally, these are man-made labyrinths that provide refuge and movement across the vast sections of these cities where alternate forms of governance have taken control. The advice of doctrine, from Sun Tzu to current field manuals, has provided two fundamental options: avoid the cities, or establish a cordon to either wait out the adversary or drain the swamp of non-combatants and engage the remaining adversaries in high-intensity conflict within. Even our counterinsurgency doctrine, honed in the cities of Iraq and the mountains of Afghanistan, is inadequate to address the sheer scale of population in the future urban reality. From the streets of Aachen to the Citadel and Way, we have defeated adversaries who attempted to use urban terrain to their advantage. Urban conflict is written deep into the Army's histories. But in tomorrow's conflict, these megacities are orders of magnitude greater in complexity, and our current options do not meet strategic ends. Our future operations must allow us to rapidly return the city to the people. They will be too large and complex to isolate or cordon in their entirety, yet our soldiers will have to operate within these ecosystems with minimal disruption and flow. Our current and past strategies can no longer hold. We are facing environments that the masters of war never foresaw. We are facing a threat that requires us to redefine doctrine and the force in radically new and different ways. The future Army will confront a highly sophisticated urban-centric threat that will require that urban operations become the core requirement for the future land force. The threat is clear. Our direction remains to be defined. The future is urban.
So, Adawan Ratazah, Lord's willing, you Akim and Akwath were paying attention to the information that was coming out in the clip that I played prior. I know it was a lot of information, but very, very much so edifying. And people are about to learn that Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is the devil that the Bible speaks of, because he's getting ready to show his true colors. No more faking the funk, no more playing nice. He's about to show you people what he really feels, or how he really feels about you. So let's get Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. It reads, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea." Now, the word woe here just means destruction. So once again, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. And what you're seeing playing on the screen is a form of this devil's wrath coming down. All right. using military weapons on civilians to control the masses, and implementing mechanisms that assist with his agenda, his New World Order. All right, whether it's unrighteous decrees, wicked policies that they write, whether it be, in the Senate, the House, or wherever. All these things are adding up to one thing, all right? And that's Jacob's trouble, all right? Matter of fact, let's get it. This is Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7. And it reads, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." Right. The elect will be saved out of it. But for the rest, it's going to be a time like never before on the face of the earth. Thus saith the Lord. And Esdras, had, visions of seeing this time, okay, the last days. And it made him sick to his stomach. All right. He said, "Woe is me, woe is me." When he seen these, robot dogs, these drones, mass death, famine, starvation, pestilence. And these things are coming. Okay? Because Proverbs 29:2 reads, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn." And we know, pertaining to Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right? And they're ruling right now. All right? And they're going to unleash all this hell. Just as, the gentleman in the clip that I played prior are speaking about. Okay? Surveillance states. They know where you are, where you're going at all times. They control your money. All right. Freedom is going to be completely dead. So back to Revelation chapter 12, verse 12, where we left off, it reads, "For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." Right. He has a short time to implement and establish this new world order, in which all people are chipped with an RFID chip, and all currency is digital and stored on those chips. Okay? Pertaining to Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. All right, so it says, "Because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." And the reason why he has a short time, all right, is because Job chapter 14 and verse 5, "Seeing his days are determined, and the number of his months are with thee, thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass." Right. The Lord has appointed his bounds, meaning that there is a certain, date, a certain, year, a certain month, a certain date, a certain day, time, hour, where their empire and dominion will come to an end. All right, to make way for a righteous kingdom ran on the earth. Okay, spearheaded by who people ignorantly call Jesus, Yahweh Shai. All right, and the Israelites. All right. Thus saith the Lord. So let's get another one. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 9 and verse 5. "For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest." Right, the end, it's showing itself. All right, all these things that you're witnessing in these last days, the inflation, the sedition amongst men, all these things are culminating to the end. All right, the end of an age, the end of this current empire. All right, so let's get Second Esdras, chapter 15, and we're going to start at we'll start at 14. And it reads, Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. All right, and what's the modern day sword? Okay, the gun or any, killing instrument. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their hand. Right, because when these, uh, when this martial law is implemented and these elites go to take complete control, the people are gonna buck up at first. They're gonna buck up, and it's gonna be total chaos, purge-like behavior out here. All right. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right, because what? Martial law, man. You win troops on the soil, watching your every move. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. All right, right. That Jeremiah 30 and 7. Okay, a time like never before, man. Jacob's trouble. Okay, and all these post-apocalyptic movies that you people have watched and spent money at the box office to see is about to become y'all's reality. All right, but for the elect, okay, the ones that the Lord has chosen, we don't have to worry about any of this tribulation that's about to befall the people. Okay, because back to Revelation 12 verse 12. All right, it read in the beginning of it, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. He's talking to the elect, the ones of us that are going to be saved out of all this tribulation. All right, the ones of us that he's going to protect and keep that hedge around during all the turmoil and the drama that's going to be taking place in the midst of Jacob's trouble. Okay, that's why the Lord says this in Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. It reads, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. All right, the book of life. All right, the Lord is going to have the holy angels, man, stand up and protect his hopeful elect. All right, Yasharallah. All right, now we know 2/3 of the nation of Israel is going to die on this side in the midst of Jacob's trouble, but 1/3 is going to be brought through the fire. Okay, shiny and refined. All right. So from here, let's get ready to end this because I don't want to make it too long. This is Job chapter 5 and verse 12. And it reads, he disappointed the devices of the crafty. Who is the he? Our power, Yahweh. Okay? And Yahweh Shai. He disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Right. And what is their enterprise? All right, this new world order. The Lord is going to throw a monkey wrench in the plan, a banana in the tailpipe. Just when these devils think they have it 100% complete, right when it's at 99.9% complete, the Lord is going to rain on their parade. Okay, because this is what As it is written, so shall it be done. This is Psalms chapter 10 and verse 2. The wicked in his pride does prosecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. Right? So they're going to be taken in the devices that they have imagined. Okay, a snare, a trap the Lord has set for them. And they are not going to prevail. Okay? So anyway, with that being said, Lawam Israel, Wa Abad Babal.